The Dog, the Farmer, and the Greedy Tortoise. Story adapted from Anike Foundation. Brought to you by the Reading Parrot. Once upon a time, there was a famine in the land of the animals because the dry season had extended more than usual. There was no rain in the land, and every animal looked relatively thin and unhealthy because very little food was available. However, the tortoise observed that his friend, the dog, was looking very fresh and healthy. He wondered what the secret of the dog's well-being was and decided to find out. The next day, the tortoise decided to pay his friend, the dog, a visit. On getting to his house, the tortoise said, "My good friend, you know we have been friends for a very long time. Please tell me the secret of your rosy cheeks and your bulging stomach, despite the famine throughout the land. I need to know so that I do not die of hunger." The dog replied, "There is no secret to it, my good friend. It is all my hard work that has paid off." The tortoise was not fooled by the dog's reply, and he decided to press further. He said, "My friend, I know that you have found a way to beat this famine. Please tell me, I will keep your secret." The dog, however, denied that there was any secret behind his well-being, so the tortoise thanked him and left. But he could not get the issue out of his mind, so he came up with a plan. The next day, he decided to shadow the dog's movements. He hid behind a tree and observed the dog leave home very early in the morning with a basket. He tailed him all the way to the neighboring village, making sure he was at some safe distance behind the dog at all the time. After looking around to make sure no one was watching, the dog made his way to a farm and started harvesting yam off the farm into his basket. The tortoise then announced his presence to the dog. The dog was shocked that his friend would go to that extent to find out his secret, but he could only do nothing. He decided to let the tortoise in on his terrible act of stealing from someone else's farm. So off they went on the next day and the next and the next. Each time they went, the tortoise took a little more than he had the previous day. It then occurred to the dog that the more yams the tortoise added each day, the longer it took them to get back home. So he decided to caution him. "My good friend the tortoise, the yam you take home each day is becoming too much. Yesterday, we left for home at 5:45 a.m. The farmer may catch us, and then that will be the end of us." The tortoise replied calmly, "Don't worry, my friend. I am storing enough yam at home for the rainy day. The farmer will never catch us." "I don't think you should be this greedy. You could get us into trouble if we harvest too much yam than we can carry easily enough to escape being caught by the farmer," said the dog warily. So the next day, at 5:30 a.m., the dog announced that he was leaving for home. But the tortoise pleaded for some more time to harvest yam. Shortly after, the dog put his basket on his head and started heading home. The tortoise noticed this and shouted after the dog, "Dog, wait for me, wait for me. I can't carry this basket alone. It's too heavy. Please help me." The dog, however, refused to listen and made haste to avoid the farmer. The tortoise pleaded for hours, but the dog by then had long gone. The farmer arrived on his farm and found the tortoise struggling with a basket full of his yam. He handed them over to the king's men, and the tortoise was brought into justice. When the dog saw what happened to his friend the tortoise, he was afraid. He then realized how unfair his actions toward the farmer had been. From then on, he decided that he would never take whatever did not belong to him so that he wouldn't get himself into trouble like the tortoise. Moral: for a lasting peace of mind, never steal from other people's things as you will be causing them a lot of harm. If you have enjoyed my reading, kindly comment, like, Share and subscribe to the Reading Parrot for more interesting folk tales. Thank you for your time.